Here's a handful of items I found at the Nuremberg Toy Fair this year. I found more like 15 or 20 items altogether, but some of them were so ahead of, they were just showing samples of things that they were prototypes. They won't be available for another year yet, in some cases. But these ones I was able to get my hands on immediately, just as a foretaste of what's still to come. It's the biggest fair in the world. It's 5 days, and it's about 4,000 stands. To walk past every stand is quite a long walk, but a lot of fun, a lot of useful contacts. I did find a number of spinning tops. The first 3 items here are all spinning tops made by engineers and artisans around Germany. This is the first one. It's got something strange about it here because it's made of wood, but it's got metal there, and it's got values you see on a dice from 1 to 6 in the middle there. But it's a spinning top, so you must spin it. But now, so what? What happens? Well, you don't let it slow down. You actually have to stop it prematurely, put it forward like that, bring your hands together. I'll do it again. And as I do it, you'll notice that the inner disc there with the dice goes on running a little bit longer. And then where it stops, there's a little red line over the top. A little line here. This is made of plastic. That then shows the value that you've won. You've got a 4. It's as if you've rolled a dice and a 4 has appeared. Each time you do it, you bring it up like that, hold it up, and then say, yes, that's going to be a 5 now, and so on. So it gives you the values of the dice quite randomly between 1 and 6, and it's an alternative to throwing a dice. Nice idea from a German engineer. And another one he's made, which is, I think this year's product actually, is this extraordinary one here. This is strange because if you do that, nothing happens. The reason is there's a lovely little ball bearing race in the middle there. It's beautifully done. It's got a very, very firmly made. It doesn't, the handle doesn't move at all, but it's got perfect rotational freedom there. So the idea is you actually have to stroke it on, well, this is too good a table, or what I'll try it, just doing it on my sleeve and see what that does. The idea is this has got a nice milled wheel, so I should be able to get a bit of speed. Oh yes, there we are. Look at that. And furthermore, you can stop the spindle from spinning, the actual disc itself will carry on spinning for a bit longer. It's got a lot of inertia, that it's quite a heavy bit of metal, and it's got a very, very fine ball bearing race, so it spins. But the idea is to pick it up, roll it on the floor, a piece of linoleum or something like that, well, I'll do it on my sleeve, and it then performs very nicely as a spinning top. I must time it to see the maximum length I can get. I'll probably find myself a little electric motor somewhere to spin it up to really high speed. Beautifully made. Whether it'll spin that way as well, I don't know. I'm going to certainly have a try. But again, it's almost like a one-off one. It's a German engineer who makes just a few dozen each year with a new design, and that's one which I'm hoping to get some more of. So 2 good spinning tops. A third one is much more remarkable. This is the work of a wonderful artisan in southern Germany. These are magnets, neodymium magnets, and they click together. The idea is you're supposed to put something in the middle of the magnet which forms a spinning top. Now this is a coaster, German, I think, beer manufacturer, and it spins reasonably well, even though I haven't found the dead centre, it's close enough. But what they provide with this kit is something much more interesting. It's a protractor. I haven't used one of these since I was at school. It shows angles and things when you're first learning geometry. This is an asymmetric object, so clearly if you put this into the middle here, there'd be a lot more plastic down here than this, where it tails off here. So the centre of mass or centre of gravity is somewhere on that central line, but where it is, it's very hard to find. And it's certainly very hard to achieve, so trial and error, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm spinning it, and what happens? It goes bloop. I'll try and adjust it a little bit, but it's going to be a tricky one to do this, because what I am aware of from mathematicians do actually have a bit of calculus which will show where the central gravity is exactly along that line there. Then I can probably mark it with a fine pen. I'm starting to get a little bit closer to it, but it's still very hard to actually find the exact central gravity, and you've got to keep dead on the centre line as well. So he does provide, actually, he does provide some of these, not just to show how it works with symmetrical objects, but suggests you get a piece of a knife and cut it into interesting shapes, and then place the magnet either side of that and see if you can get some sort of idea where the centre of mass would lie, or something eccentric. The most interesting would be a perfect crescent moon like that, because the centre of gravity would actually lie outside the material. That would be extraordinary to do, but too difficult. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I would have to get a bit of maths going to find out where in a half circle is the centre of mass. It's somewhere around this little label here, I would think. not halfway up, but perhaps about a third of the way up, and that's where the thing will behave as a spinning top. Nice idea of a protractor spinning top, and help children to understand a little bit about the centre of mass. Then a lovely Russian chap gave me a couple of apples. It's very nice to get apples, isn't it? Except these are wooden apples, you can't eat them. But the idea is, they're both the same, is it's a puzzle with 3 pieces, and it's not that easy to undo, except that the way you undo it is simply to spin it, and it flies apart. Watch. Oh, there we are. That's right, isn't it? So they've got very complicated shapes inside them. One of them has got the top leaf, and another piece has got the bottom piece, I think. There we are, there's the bottom piece. So I know, for instance, those 2 pieces go together, and this one is a matter of trial and error, but I think it's going to be something like in there. Boom, there it is again. Beautiful idea, very nicely made. Just a bit more time. Oh my goodness me, it's so easy to do, isn't it? Flies apart. It's quite tricky to take apart. It's so well interlocked. But when you do a little spin, out it flies. Wow, what a beautiful piece of work that is. The last item really is very quirky indeed. It's a Swiss company making things for very, very small children. Oogie, they call it. Extraordinary. They're all made of beautiful silicon rubber. And these things are for very small children, 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds, to do on various parts of their body. I mean, for instance, it's quite fun on our head there, isn't it? Or if you do it the other way up like that, perhaps it's an elephant trunk. Great fun. But then some of them are charming because they're more like figures. I mean, children can place them on the table, there's suckers there, and then they can play with games like imagining the 2 hands going over their eyes as if they're trying to hide their face from somebody. And then when the pieces come apart, they flip and the thing moves and wiggles about. And then another one here, which is quite strong suckers, in fact. It's a little figure here which, boom, 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 I could probably put it on top of the packaging here to lift it up. And the last one's even stranger because I think you're supposed to put water in this one here and then squirt it, so it's a bath toy. So very, very nicely made, very strange, very quirky. I'm going to have a lot of fun just playing with it and seeing how kids behave and respond to them. I think they'll enjoy them very much. So this is just a fraction really of what I found at Nuremberg, stuff that was immediately available. And there's a lot more to come from that wonderful toy fair. It's probably one of my all-time favourite fairs that I go to every year, the Nuremberg Toy Fair.